Last time on Will Save. As our characters settle in on board the Chimera, we get a closer look at their motivations. The fledgling group seems keen on taking stock and washing off recent events. Hears begins to look toward the horizon of future prospects. Nico exhibits troubling signs of paranoia, while Rick 19 and Dr. OK make themselves feel quite at home. As our adventurers sit down for some food, Dr. OK sees to some particular dietary needs, and all our adventurers meet some new acquaintances. All seems well until a box of Space Lice falls and a white flash envelops the room. Will the Space Lice cause a biomedical emergency? Find out this time on Will Save.
It's recently come to my attention from some of the pre-roll chat that we were having here that some of us haven't seen movies that maybe we all should have seen.
Like socially required films.
Yeah. that are used to vet whether you could be part of the Will Save podcast crew, which is not true. There were no audition processes or anything. But if there was one, that might be something that we would do.
I was in a casual conversation once, and somebody found out that someone else in the group had not seen Little Mermaid, and the response was, "You're un-American," and they stopped talking to that person. What? So non-political films that are important for everybody in the world to watch.
So let's go down the list. Let's start with one, everyone's favorite, The Goonies, right?
Yes.
Yes, Goonies.
Yes.
Hey, you guys!
Okay.
It's kind of like a D&D party. I mean, a Starfinder party.
Sorry, yeah, Starfinder. Thank you, Paizo.
And then you have Cyndi Lauper with Good Enough. So.
Yeah. Let's see. The Princess Bride. Yes.
Now,
can we all agree?
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father.
I personally don't like Princess Bride, especially since Robin Hood Men in Tights is the same film but better.
That is a great film, by the way.
That is a good film,
but Princess
Bride is great.
I don't know. I like Robin Hood more growing up.
No, because Robin Hood Men in Tights has all the same qualities of Princess Bride, except for it's actually funny, and it's actually well told.
The story's better in a Princess Bride.
It's even got the same actor.
Yeah,
it's
and the characters. It's so iconic. Okay, all right. So we're mostly agreed on Goonies, a little split on Princess Bride. I'm just gonna pull one out. I'm thinking Jurassic Park. Thoughts? Go.
Oh,
yeah.
Classic?
Absolute classic. Nobody does not like that film. Wait. One thing about that, though, is with Jurassic Park versus all the other Jurassic Parks, is that Jurassic Park 1, I've taken a lot of film classes. Jurassic Park 1 actually, puts you in the perspective of a human as prey to the dinosaurs. So every angle is looking up at the dinosaurs or into the eyes of a dinosaur. Where Jurassic Park, Jurassic World and all the other films, they go from the perspective of the dinosaurs a lot more often. Like in the famous scene with the margarita guy, if you don't know what that is, just look it up. They follow the pterodactyl things down into the crowd, where it should be from the crowd looking up at the pterodactyl swooping.
What about the scene where the guy gets eaten on the toilet? Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Scene.
Yeah, no, Jurassic 1 is phenomenal. And that's
really human's perspective.
Jurassic 1, that perspective is down on the human.
It's both.
Darwinism at its finest.
Well, there is a moment where the dinosaur is looking at him, that perspective. But the majority of that film, though, is definitely as you described.
I'm kind of surprised that Will hasn't pulled up a clip of any of these movies and put them as background yet. Since we're all recording remotely, Will is the Zoom wizard who has a collection of over 100 video clips to play as his background at any time.
This is
and
all.
Now has none.
I have a recommendation for the next movies, though.
Okay,
Home
all
Alone
right.
Series.
Home Alone's classics. No, not the series. Do not say series. Home Alone.
Home Alone's 1 and 2. Home Alone's 1 and 2.
The ultimate trilogy is, I think, how a lot of people refer to it. But I think you're only talking about 1 and 2, right?
That's
Nick?
correct. I specified 1 and 2.
State your case.
Well, Home Alone 1 is clearly a classic, but Home Alone 2, like a kid lost in New York who has an entire abandoned building to set booby traps in, is nothing but fantastic.
No, I'll give you that. Home Alone 2 is also very.
It's good.
You said Back to the Future, Kelly?
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Back to the Future
is undoubtedly a necessary. Yeah.
Which,
but the ultimate trilogy, or just 1 or 2?
Oh no, 3 is
respectable.
Good. Is it? It's been a while. I can't
honestly, like as far as trilogies go, it's one of the ones that
the better.
Yeah, it really is. It stays pretty consistently good.
But Doc's garage is the Pasadena house off of Orange Grove.
Yeah.
So if you guys are ever up in that area, Los Angeles crowd.
Or if you're not in Los Angeles and you visit and you want to see some famous places, you could do
some actual famous places, not the Walk of Fame, because
Hollywood
sucks.
Yeah, the Hollywood Walk of Fame is cool to look at as you ride by in an Uber, and that's it. That's all that you need to do.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't stop there.
Yeah, no, you probably shouldn't. All right, are there any other contenders that we want to share before we jump into the fabulous world that Paizo created called Starfinder? Are there any other movies?
Think about Napoleon Dynamite?
No. You know, I'm often split on that one, right? A lot of good quotes.
It was funny when I was 12.
Yeah, but then kind of, does it hold up over time? Debatable, right? Right?
That was my reaction to it as well. Actually, the first time I watched that,
it came out in 2004, which is the year I graduated high school. So I definitely wasn't 12 at that time.
Well, the first time I watched Napoleon Dynamite, I had just had like some sort of exposure, which is where they take a chain, go into your gum, and yank a tooth down. And I was up on Novocaine for like the rest of the day. Anyway,
Nick, it's funny. You just talked about my second topic for the pre-game chatter, which was, do you hate the dentist, the optometrist, or I don't know. I can't think of another one that people hate. But just
general doctors,
the maxillofacial surgeon.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just throw one out. Maxillofacial surgeon. That's fine.
I'm gonna
ear,
check
nose,
the
and throat doctor, otolaryngologist.
All of the above. Check
just don't like going to any of them.
None.
Which
I don't.
Yeah.
I've never been to an optometrist. I don't have.
You don't have eyes.
Perfect vision.
Yeah, I do.
I barely survived taking my newborn to the peds appointments. I just feel so awkward inside of any kind of like medical office.
Okay.
Skin crawl.
I'm gonna say something controversial.
All right.
Best Star Wars film.
Okay.
Oh, Empire.
Empire for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, I mean, that's not necessarily a cult film. That's like mainstream classic. I thought we were talking cult films that you had to watch.
No, I was just saying best Star Wars film is Empire.
Out of Star Wars? I don't know, man. I think Return Skywalker Rises or whatever the newest one. I can't even remember.
The Rise of Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker? You think that's the best movie?
No, that's why
I thought your favorite, Kev, was The Phantom Menace, which, unpopular opinion, I really liked The Phantom Menace.
Me too.
I think
it's better than 2 and 3.
Phantom Menace.
But 2 was not bad.
They've grown on me. I'll be honest.
Phantom Menace has a lot of potential, but it's still a little drawn out and overrated.
It is, but I think it gets the spirit of Star Wars, which is like kind of like fun.
Episodes 2 and 3 are absolute trash.
How can you not watch the pod racing scene and be like, "This is Star Wars"?
Yeah.
Which I didn't know.
Duel of the Fates.
No, this is pod racing.
Duel of the Fates.
Pod race scene
classic.
Was actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
The pod race scene was almost frame for frame from the famous chariot scene in what's that famous Greek film? Ben-Hur. Yes, Ben-Hur. It's almost frame for frame with the Ben-Hur chariot scene.
Minus the loud engines replaced by horses, right?
Yeah. And the aliens.
Yeah, Ben-Hur.
And the aliens. And the alien planet. And Sebulba, who is a frequent guest on this podcast.
Yeah, Ben-Hur should have just stuck with the Star Wars theme. There's no reason they got rid of all that stuff to film Ben-Hur.
Yeah, it would have been historically accurate, I think, if they left it in.
Yeah. Here's a fun one. Here's a fun one that is just trash.
Last one, and then we should probably get to plan.
A fun cult trash movie that people should see, without a doubt, Sharknado.
Yeah.
And that makes me think of Velocipaster, which I haven't seen yet, but I do want to see.
I've actually wanted to see that one.
Wait,
me too.
Velocipaster?
Velocipaster.
Is that what
yeah.
Consider this.
Great.
A pastor who can transform into a velociraptor. That's it. That's the tagline. That's the whole movie.
But velociraptors are only 2.5 feet tall.
Well, he can. Yeah, that's fine. He can try to modify it that way. That's fine. Wait, does he do God's work as a velociraptor? What is he?
I haven't seen it yet.
He writes
I'm
wrongs.
just gonna watch this.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just have a bonus episode where we all just do a reaction video of us watching Velocipaster.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Pastor on that. All right,
pass. Moving on.
All right, let's play. So, we're in episode 4. We're having fun, but I just want to say something that I noticed. Maybe it's on me for my mistakes, but we're gonna make mistakes, right? We're playing Starfinder, we're having fun, but if we make mistakes, call us out, send us an email, a strongly worded letter, whatever you want to do to let us know that we made them. But I was listening back, I heard a couple, and I wanted to get a learning moment real quick from one. The first is that last episode, we did have some sense motives, a lot of sense motives, right? And there was one against one of our own characters. And I have to say, technically, sense motive checks, I believe, are opposed by bluff checks. So technically, Nico, you would have rolled a bluff check. But since you were just trying to protect your own interests, whatever they may be, right, then that was just something to think about. So learning moment for all of us. We just rolled it as, let's do sense motive. Nick was told the numbers, and then it was kind of how do you think about that? Are the numbers high enough to see if there was any other motive that Nico might have, right?
Is this laid out in the book somewhere?
Yeah, it is.
The Starfinder
core rule book?
Core rule book, yeah.
Jinx.
You mean the one that we're all holding up from Paizo?
You're holding up to the front of the screen.
We're all holding up to the front of the screen for the audio only.
Hold it
up to the screen.
You can hear me flipping through the pages.
Of the mic, yeah.
One other thing, while you all are fact-checking me, which is fine, right? There's also a diplomacy check, and I just want to give a really good idea in the way that Paizo does diplomacy checks, which is just to say that all of the NPCs, and maybe PCs too, the relationship is on this gradual scale from hostile to helpful, right? About 5 or 6 gradients. So when you succeed at a diplomacy check, you move a step up, or when you fail, you move a step down, right? So I think there was a diplomacy check from Nico. So the way that works is that you were changing, right? In that conversation with the captain, you were changing it from friendly to maybe helpful, right? So it's just a cool way to think about something. One other thing that I think I've said before, just want to say again. Everything is connected. So as GM, any decision you make, the world will respond accordingly. Although who knows how many episodes will occur before that response happens. But that's just something that I try and do as a GM. And I think it makes the story better. And I think it makes us have a lot more fun. So with that said, I'm going to start something. Unless there was a comment that any of you guys had.
Yeah, I wanted to cut in first. Thank you, Hero Lab.
Thank you to Hero Lab, Sirenscape, and Roll20 for helping to provide the technological know-how to play remotely and record remotely.
But I wanted to just say that we would use Roll20 in person as well, because Will has built an awesome table for us when we use that again.
Oh, yeah.
And we would still use Sirenscape and probably Hero Lab.
And I am just fact checking our DM because I don't our GM because I don't trust him.
That's fine.
There definitely is a table of. There's one for attitude, and there's one for information sought, and another table for disguises and circumstances. Like, wow, yeah, Starfinder's actually got this all laid out pretty nicely for us.
Yeah, if you check out the skills section of the handbook, it is chock full. Good information. Now we're going to go back out into the field. Nick, how is it going with your Hero Lab?
Play the Jeopardy music.
All right.
We only got 2 seconds worth.
You know what? I have one better. That's fine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Things are getting saucy now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hold music that we're working with here, so you know we're a top-tier podcast when we can do that.
Do you guys know about Muzak?
Yeah, smooth jazz?
No, Muzak.
Oh, enlighten us.
Muzak is like the elevator synthesizer music versions of like famous songs. So like if you
Smooth operator.
right, but you could listen to like Smells Like Teen Spirit in Muzak.
With like a peaceful piano and music.
Oh, hot take. That's a terrible song.
All right, let's talk about something real quick that I've been meaning to ask. I think it's good if we ask questions about your characters. You guys got to answer spur the moment. We did this in our other game. I think it's fun to do. Provide a little insight into new situations that might or might not show themselves in the game. Here's the question I'm going to pose.
It's fun to do because the GM never has to answer it.
I never have to answer. It's great. But if you all hate it, tell me right now.
Just kidding.
3, 2,
we
1.
Hate it, but we should.
Thank you. All right, great.
I hate it, but we should do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Well, you know, when you GM a game, feel free to ask me, and I'll be the first to answer every time. When did your character last feel vulnerable?
Vulnerable.
Well, while I'm pulling mine up, I guess I could go real quick. The last time Nico Orion really felt vulnerable was when he was in his boardroom being voted out of his own company by his mother and family. It's a pretty vulnerable and betraying moment right there. And he didn't...
Yeah.
He's still trying to deal with that. It's pretty fresh.
I mean, that's pretty... If you think about it, if you're part of the family business at that level and you're being voted out, that's a level of treachery and backstabbing that anyone else.
I would have to say that Rick has like a constant level of vulnerability because he's a freshly freed android in a world that doesn't appreciate androids at all. So he's always constantly like overlooking that his fear of just being thrown back into slavery.
Yeah, Hears has never really had a constant home, really. And he's kind of been at the mercy of other people his entire life. So he has like repeated moments. The last time was when he was kicked out of the free captains, for sure. Yet another like piece of identity that he had was taken away from him. So I think that was the last time for sure for him.
Oh man, put that in the notes. Here's as a part of the free captains.
He was kicked out, though, I thought.
Kicked out.
He was kicked out, yeah.
Kicked out. Well,
What'd he do? No,
yeah.
We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Tell me your whole backstory right now.
I'd say Dr. OK is like constantly feeling a little bit vulnerable. Like the last time was literally the last episode when he was going to the chef's kitchen to make sure there was no salt on his food.
Oh yeah.
Or like when I think it came really to a point to him when we were boarding and we were being asked like, oh, you know, what were you doing? Was it on our first episode, I think. The person was like, oh, we don't see Osharu's travel alone very much.
Special Agent LaRue, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever that NPC is called. But yes, Agent LaRue came
That's when Dr. OK last felt vulnerable.
Really vulnerable. And just now, asking for no salt, obviously, is vulnerable. Yeah. But more so, Agent LaRue.
Every time he eats, he has to be careful. So
yeah.
That'd be very vulnerable.
Well, that's a good segue, I think, into what happened last time. You guys went to the dining hall to partake in some of the food and drink that the captain and the crew have set out as these apologies for what has happened when you were boarding. You are getting ready to feast on some delectable food and drink, and you're in there with Professor Brodent Bendrum, who was also there in the encounter out in the docking bay, and Keeve Cadens, and they're talking about a small box. Professor's talking about how it's a box that is similar to a null space chamber, and there are these 4 asteroid lice inside, and Keeve doesn't maybe agree, and just as Dr. OK walks in, the box falls, slips to the ground, and there's a crack, and there's a super bright flash of light, and that's where we stopped, and that's where we're gonna pick up with a reflex save from all of you.
Oh, what? Reflex save?
Yeah.
Reflex.
What is this?
I didn't think those things still existed.
I didn't think those things still existed, except, I must say, I think Dr. OK, you don't need to make one.
Oh, okay, good, because I just rolled a natural 1, so...
Great.
Perfect.
Great. Now, let's go around. Let's see what everyone got. Kelly, I can't see your screen. What did you get on your reflex save?
It is not an athletics or acrobatics check, where I don't see it. Apologies.
That's okay.
On your hero lab, it's going to be right under
reflex,
4.
right?
Under what?
On your hero lab, it's going to be right under 4.
Oh, it's ref.
Ref.
Well,
Ref.
Can I just start then? I got
Go ahead,
22.
Kev.
22 reflex save.
Wow, killing it.
Here's got a 17, which is pretty good.
Woo, 17. Okay. Not bad.
Here's
16 plus 4, that's 20 for me.
16 plus, wow, that's good. All right. As that bright light kind of comes down for a second, you're able to keep your senses. There was a crack, there was this bright flash. Dr. OK, you had just stepped in, so you didn't quite catch the brunt of it. But as it happens, I'm going over to roll 20 now. As it happens, your eyes begin to clear and your senses, the ringing in your ears kind of fades away. And when that happens, you look around. Keeve and Professor Benjamin seem to be rubbing whatever happened out of their eyes. They're kind of looking dazed. And surrounding you are 4 of these vermin. If you look on roll 20, 4 of these giant vermin, I'm going to bring them up on the screen here if you can see, that look like giant lice. And they seem
like
to be
sirloins.
moving around the cabin, and they seem to be aggressive. And you all need to roll for initiative.
Wait, what happened with the reflex save? Did anybody fail it?
I'm gonna get there. All right.
I got a 15.
Okay, so let's go through and see. So we got you got a 15?
Yes.
Okay.
16
Dr.
for
OK.
Rick. 16.
Rick, 16.
Dr. OK.
Dr. OK.
Got an 18.
Got an 18. Wow. Last session, you guys were not rolling that high. This session, you guys are just cool. What about our old friend, Nico Rico?
16 plus 2 for an 18 on the initiative.
Oh, wait. Who else got 18? That was Dr. OK. Dr. OK, what's your initiative modifier? Dr. OK.
Sorry, plus 1.
Oh,
So-
okay. All right.
We got 17 on the die, plus 1, 18.
Right. So that means that Dr. OK will be going after Nico.
Okay.
All right. So this box drops. You hear Professor Benjamin and Kiev seem to be rubbing their eyes. Whatever flash happened seemed to have given them the dazzled condition as they failed their reflex saves. And you all who succeeded don't have the dazzle condition because you succeeded at your reflex save as this box, this magical, weird, technological box cracks, breaks open, a bright light spills out, and these 4 creatures are skittering around, and they look angry at being taken out of their box.
That's why they're mad.
That's why they're mad
for being in the box in the first place. They're mad that they got let out.
No. They have these really intense backstory that if you want to try and talk to them about it, they will tell you more about why they're upset about being in the box. So,
roll a diplomacy check.
Roll. All of you make diplomacy checks.
Charm them.
You could charm them, find out their names, see if there's anything that they want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they were just on their way to a birthday party and then they got put in this box. Who knows, right?
Woe to Dr. OK is their primary source of food are slugs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Forgot to tell you that part, Will. That technically slugs are the main prey for this creature.
Seriously?
Maybe if you do a life science check. No, I'm just messing with you.
Kidding.
All right, so it is the top of the round. Will's so confused. It is the top of the round. We are in, you all can see roll 20, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool, awesome. So we are in combat with these creatures. It is, if you all look, I'm pinging the one. Professor Benjamin and Kiev are at a table in the middle. Hears and Nico are right next to the table. Rick was walking up to look at what was at the kind of the counter at the north end of the room, and Dr. OK had just entered from the east end. One of the bugs is right in between Professor Benjamin and Hears. And we're going to see which of them this bug is going to attack. I'm going to say 1 to 3 Hears, 4 to 6 Professor Benjamin. Let's find out. I got a 1. Don't know if you can see that on here. Probably not. So that's going to be Hears. So this bug. Splendid. Fantastic. This bug kind of scuttles up. It's probably like 3 feet in diameter, has this bulbous chitin body at the end, kind of like an ant. And its 3 front legs scuttle up towards you at an alarming speed. And as it does, it seems to pull its head back, and its like pincers open up. And the pincers come and grab and try and attack your leg. What is your KAC?
KAC.
Kinetic armor class. It
is modified with an 8 to be 18.
18. Okay, wow. So you see it come up and just go for your leg. And so you're thinking, man, it almost catches your leg. In fact, it kind of grabs onto the material and leaves a little rip in the leg, but it doesn't quite get you. And you can tell from the way that it was moving, it seems like it wants to be on you.
No thanks.
It is the next creature's turn. That creature is the one right next to Rick, and it turns and skitters over to you, also moving with its pincers and its front legs. And that is a 21 against your KAC. Does that hit?
Ooh.
I think it does.
I have a 23.
Oh, your KAC is 23?
I have a base KAC of 15 with a +8 from bonus combat maneuvers.
Yeah, wait, let's just double check this. That is outrageous.
I have a reinforced EVA suit. That's a +4. And then I have my dexterity is a +4, and my max dex of +1 from reinforced EVA is 1. So
your KAC is 15. I'm looking at your thing right now.
What's the plus? It says KAC +8.
Yeah, I have that same thing.
+8 is what happens whenever a combat maneuver is made against you. The combat maneuver has to beat your KAC +8 because combat maneuvers are tougher to pull off. So technically, that's what would happen. Combat maneuver, page 246 in my big book. You make a melee attack roll against the opponent's KAC +8.
Boogers.
So that's why that 23 is there. So if this was a combat maneuver, I would say give me your KAC plus 8. So your KAC is 15.
Fine, you hit me, okay?
Yeah, I do. It feels so good starting off the session with a hit. This is good. So what's interesting is this. As the pincers and as the legs move up and grab onto your leg, you don't feel like there was any damage done, but maybe you kind of like start to move back reflexively, right? You twist and pivot, and as you do, it feels like you don't piss.
Piss all over it.
You piss all over it, and it dies instantly. Yeah.
It's a muscle relaxant.
Yeah. You realize that it is attached to you.
I don't like this.
Nico, it is your turn. What are you doing?
Nico's going to draw one blaster, but he's going to do a perception check. He wants to get an idea of what's going on right now.
Okay. Give me your perception check. I see all of you fastidiously, meticulously reading something. I'm thinking it's the book.
Cool rulebooks.
Cool rulebook.
That's a 14.
14 on your perception check. What are you trying to perceive?
I'm trying to get a sense of whether or not these creatures have a color pattern on their bodies that suggests they might be poisonous.
Okay. I would say you want to do a life science check. Let me check to see whether you can do life science.
Wait, can we pause
untrained.
for a second? Did I not take any damage from this thing?
You didn't take any damage.
Weird.
I can do a life science check.
On your turn, yeah?
Okay. Yeah, on my turn.
Yeah, so Nick, I think you would be looking more for the life science, right? And life science cannot do it untrained.
Okay. Yeah, I do not have a skill for that, so I would have to do something else. All right, then I'm going to do a sense motive on the bugs to see what their objective is.
To bite us, apparently.
But it also will help me if I want to pull off a shot against them too.
Okay. So as we talked about before, I believe that would be opposed by their bluff check.
Yeah. So it's a 17 plus 4. That's a 21 on my sense motive.
21 on your sense motive. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, I don't even need to roll a bluff check. Their intelligence is so low that you just seem like they are upset animals that are lashing out in a moment in which they were suddenly taken from the environment that they're in to a brand new environment, and they're freaking out. That's what it seems like. So what do you want to do with your turn? What are you thinking?
Go ahead. I'm going to pull one blaster and I'm going to fire.
Okay.
But I'm going to, first I'm going to do, off my sense motive, I believe I have.
So pulling your weapon is a move action, right? So you pull that out.
Well, isn't that...
You don't shoot.
Isn't that like, I know we don't get free actions, but isn't that like as 1 is a free action, 2 you is a whole turn?
No, I think you're thinking of another system, another game system, where that is part of it. But drawing a weapon is a move action.
Can I draw both weapons without it burning my whole turn then?
No, I think if you're going to pull both, then you would be using your standard action as a move action. So then you would be doing 2 move actions to pull both weapons out. But you can pull one out as your move action and still take a shot.
Mm-hmm. All right, well then I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use my... I'm going to go ahead and use Clever Feint. So
nice.
As a standard action, you can fake out an enemy within 60 feet, making that enemy open to your attacks. Attempt a bluff check with the same DC as a check to feint against that enemy.
Okay. So tell me more about that. So it's a bluff check that I make?
I think I attempt a bluff check with the same DC as a check to feint against that enemy. So
totally agree. Yep. All right. So what is that DC going to be?
With the same DC as a check to feint against that enemy, I believe that's...
Okay, so I will tell you that the DC for this roll will be DC 16.
Okay. So, all right. 17 plus 6. So I
Nice. Wow. So what do you do?
So he's going to pull his weapon and he's going to try and shoot this bug. He's going to try to shoot this bug. However, Dr. What's his compatriot sitting next to him is kind of rubbing his eyes.
Dr. What's his compatriot? Yeah.
And so Nico's going to try and shoot that way, but realizes he doesn't have it, and so he's going to do like a kind of a dexterous action where he just kind of flips his wrist over, props it over with his other hand, and he's going to fire.
So was that clever feint was that a standard action? What does it take to do that?
As a standard action.
Cool. Nice. So that means that particular bug, right? That particular vermin is flat-footed because you succeeded against your attack and your allies' attacks. Yep. So flat-footed is page 276 for anyone following along at home. Oh, man, that's super great. Yeah, that says you take a -2 penalty to your AC and cannot take reactions while flat-footed. Nicely done.
So Nico's going to go ahead and he's going to take a shot at this point.
I don't think you can. You use your standard action. No, so you use your standard action. You use your move action to pull out your weapon. You use a standard action to do your clever feint.
Okay.
So an attack would have been your standard action, but you use that instead for the clever feint, which is awesome.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Nice. Good move. Moving on to Dr. OK.
Yes.
What are you doing on your turn?
I'm going to roll a life science check.
Okay. Give me that sweet life science roll.
I rolled a 19 on the die, which gives me
19.
28 on my life science.
That is outrageous. So what we're going to do is, I just had it up, the DC. So do you want to explain how life science works while I pull out to see what the DC was?
I mean, life science is literally just your knowledge of, your education of scientific and living things, from small organisms to large biological systems, as per what the core rulebook says.
That is very, very true. Well explained. So
I identify creature is what I'm trying to roll. So
exactly, identify creature. The DC for this was such that with a 28, you exceeded it by at least 15. So for every 5 over, you get to add something else that you want to know about them. So I'm going to tell you some things about them, right? In terms of immunities, these are space vermin. They are asteroid lice. That's the creature that they are. They have immunities to acid. You know that when they perish, when they're killed, that their remains are caustic and stay so for maybe like 30 seconds or so. And so if you touch their remains, you're going to take damage, right? And then you also know that they have an ability. You've heard that they can attach to a creature and then bite from where they're attached. And when they're attached, it's a bit harder to hit them because you're trying not to hit yourself. You're trying not to hurt yourself at the same time. So it's a bit tougher to hit them.
What do we know? Can I tell by their size what they're
small.
Their AC might be though? I get 2 things that I can ask, right? Or
well, so I give you what they were, so you could identify them, and then 3 things about them since you exceeded the DC.
So they're immune to acid, and what else?
They're immune to acid. They have an ability to, as you saw with Rick, to attach and latch on to a creature, right, or a person, and then attack. And that it's and I'll tell you that as part of that, they latch on pretty strongly. It's not that easy to get them off. Then on top of that, when they are killed, their remains are caustic. Yeah, and so if you touch their remains, or maybe if they're still attached, you might take some damage. So that was a great move for life science. I believe that life science, I'm trying to see what that would be in terms of a move action. What do you want to do next?
I don't think that's a move action.
I don't think so.
I think it's
so. What do you want to do next?
Okay.
That's so great.
Sure.
That's so great.
I'm going to move here, and I'm going.
Do you tell your party what you know?
Hey guys, these are asteroid lice. They are pretty nasty bugs, and you should not touch them after they're dead. but also acid damage won't work on them, but I'm going to come up with a formula to possibly change that. But yeah, I'm gonna just hang out over here, guys. So
all right, so you just hang out over there.
No, what I'm gonna do, what Dr. OK is gonna do, he's gonna be like, I don't want to be near these things. So what I'm going to do as a swift action, I'm going to put some slime down right around here, so to make it a little difficult terrain for these creatures.
Okay, tell me about the slime.
Slime is one of my racial feats, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows me as a swift action to excrete slime into an empty adjacent square, causing that square to become difficult terrain. And I can do it 1d4 times per day.
So where do you excrete it?
Just between like these tables. So that
right in front of you?
Yeah.
In the square in front of you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And can I like
square?
Can I continue my move action and like take a step back?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I've done my part.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. Why do I have a feeling that this is pretty much the reson why you chose this race?
Yeah, it was just so you can like, excrete.
It's part of it.
All right.
Can I draw my cost eject liquidator weapon?
That would be a move action.
I think I actually. Well, I didn't have it out, so that's.
You didn't have it out, right? Yeah. Wait, what's your base attack bonus? Is it +1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then you can move and pull out a weapon. So that's fine. So you take a step back, you secrete some ooze, some slime out. I'm not going to ask where that happens, and then you move back and pull out your caustic injector.
Yes.
It's pretty sweet.
May I fire it, or? Would you like me to shoot this weapon?
Well, here's the thing. I think the slime. What does it say that the slime is?
Is
the slime
swift action?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, then you can totally fire it.
Yeah.
Who are you firing it at?
I'm going to fire at.
Here's.
The one.
No, please don't fire here.
No, well, there's. See, I could do lots of things with my weapons. Let's see, what would. I think the best thing would be to maybe administer an inhibitor to these creatures.
Ooh. What does the inhibitor do?
I'm going to. I think what I can do is actually remove their acid resistance. Oh, and then I can just hit them. Wow. I can hit them with the cost jet and then do acid damage. So in the character operations manual for Biohacker, it says you can reduce
Thank you, Paizo.
The target's resistance to one type of energy of your choice by 5. Does that mean that's not acid resistance? I think that's something else.
Yeah, if they have a resistance to it, then you would reduce that, but they have an immunity to it.
Yeah, they have an immunity. So I think I actually need to.
My beer is replenished.
Oh, beautiful. I love those words.
Okay. I'm going to shoot the one closest to me with a basic pharmacological inhibitor, which it says you introduce a mild hallucinogen into a living creature's body, making it difficult for the target to move or act. The target gains the encumbered condition and must succeed at a fort save, or also gain the entangled condition.
Wow. It's a lot.
So I got to roll to hit.
So you're... Okay.
And I got 15.
15. Yeah. Against KAC or EAC?
That would be KAC.
Yeah, you hit. So you fire this needle, syringe almost.
Yes, at this guy here.
Okay. And then what happens? Then I make a fort save?
I believe so. You're entangled.
I'm encumbered.
You're encumbered. And then you have to succeed at a fort save to not gain the entangled condition.
Okay. So I am encumbered. Need to succeed at a fort save. That is going to be a fort save of 20. Did I succeed?
Dang.
I'm probably.
I
don't know what you roll against.
It's whatever DC is set up for that. There's probably a standard DC for your inhibitors.
DC 13. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Nice move. Good strategy. That was great. That was the stuff Starfinder's made of.
Yes. Doctor, okay. I could just duck out this door now.
You just leave. You're just like, I'm out. All right. So you all are in the middle of this frantic action. This is all happening within, again, the first 6 seconds. Round 1. You see Kiev seems to be rubbing their eyes, like trying to just get whatever is in there, trying to remove whatever dazzled condition, if we're talking mechanically. And so as a result, they take a step back and start to move away, stand up from the chair and start to move away, seemingly disoriented, not able to really know exactly what's going on. It is Rick's turn. What are you doing?
Yeah. So Rick, being the trained bounty hunter that he is, he's going to flick back his trench coat, and you see the gun on his hip, but he actually reaches behind his back, and the strap over his shoulder, he's going to pull out his azimuth artillery laser. So it's kind of rifle.
He just pulls out a giant rifle that was on your back.
Not a giant rifle, but it's pretty large. Yeah.
Okay.
Hidden under his trench coat, and he pulls that out.
Okay.
But he looks down at this thing clenched to his leg, and he's actually going to roll a survival check on it.
Oh.
Because a survival check
to do
lets
what?
You handle an animal. As a move action, you can use survival to improve the attitude of an animal with an intelligence of a score 1 or 2. This function, just like a diplomacy check, to change a person's initial attitude, but it is not a language dependent. A typical domestic animal has a starting attitude of indifferent, while wild animals are usually unfriendly. So,
okay.
I believe it says it is a DC of 15 plus 1 1/2 times the CR of the creature.
Okay. So give me a roll.
All right. My roll? I got a 13 plus 5 is 18.
18. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. So these creatures don't have an intelligence score. So as a result, I'm trying to see whether you would use, whether the survival skill would work against a creature that doesn't have an intelligence score.
Well, you should have said that before I rolled it.
It said they have to have an intelligence score of 1 or 0. Or 1 or 2, right?
I think so.
Where'd it go? Survival. Oh, there's also rear a wild animal. That's trained only. But I'm trained in survival, I believe.
So you could do that.
You can use survival to raise a wild animal from infancy. That doesn't make sense.
This is my pet asteroid, Lice.
Rearing wild animal typically takes months.
If you want to try and raise it, yeah.
Yeah, I can raise it.
I think Nico's character would want to do that.
I think we definitely need a paladin in our crew. No.
We definitely need a paladin who will try and tame these asteroid lice. And that is our only inside joke for the whole episode. That's fine.
Not true. I made a reference to the first goblin character that we captured in our D&D game.
What? What's D&D?
I missed that reference.
Yeah,
Eek.
I don't know what D&D is.
Eek.
Kev, you were saying?
So it does say an intelligence score of 1 or 2.
So unfortunately, it has a dash intelligence score, so it will not work. It seems like it doesn't, do anything. Well, it just keeps trying to grab onto your leg and hold on for dear life.
Then Rick's gonna just shoot it in the head.
Help!
19 to hit.
You don't even say what you're doing. You're like, all right, I'm gonna friggin' destroy him.
Rick's
you just hear
shoot it in the head.
You just hear the cast of the dice, and you're just like, all right, that's fine. Yeah, all right, I'm just going to screw him over. It's fine. 19 to hit. Yeah, that is a hit. That's definitely a hit.
Now how much damage? My D10. Hold on. Which one's my D10? That's this guy? No, that's a 12.
Which one's my D10?
That's a D10. And I rolled a 3. Seriously? 3 points of damage.
All right, the first. Woo, we get some damage on these bad boys. All right, but it's still attached to you. So it blows off a little chunk of the chitinous body, the exoskeleton from this creature. It is. Here's his turn. What are you doing? You have something coming for you. It missed. You have Dr. OK secreting some slime off to your right. You have Nico fainting him, doing some cool stuff, and Rick trying to talk to him and tell him it's all going to be okay. So what are you doing here?
Well, being as the bug sort of like grazed Hears, being that Hears is kind of a bug, or is a bug, feels a little bit violated. So just kind of like sort of gets down on a knee, and like out of his like hands like come these missiles, and he's like, not interested. And then just fires both of them at the one directly in front of him.
That is amazing.
Which is, I think, 2 missiles. So that will be D4 plus 1, which is, we'll do this roll 20.
All right, roll 20.
6 damage.
6
to the face.
Damage to the face.
Specifically, yes.
You see it marred by this like this streaks across the face, and it seems to shriek in front of you in pain.
Yes.
Good round. Good move. But it's unfortunate. It is the asteroid Louse's turn right in front of Nico. But who will it attack? It might attack Keeve, but I think because Nico fired a shot, even though it was just a clever feint, it's going to attack Nico. Let's see what happens. That is an 8. So
does not
that does not hit. It seems like it was completely taken by your maneuver and is just a little off kilter, doesn't quite make it. It is now the asteroid Louse's turn that was near Dr. OK, and it is curious. 1, about Dr. OK, and 2, about whatever has happened on the floor here. So it starts to move. What happens as it steps into the slime, Dr. OK?
I would assume that the slimy secretion has sort of an effect of like, highly oiled, lubricated, like you're, trying to walk on ball bearings.
Okay. Just a casual example. So does it need to make a check? Or is it just difficult to walk? It just takes away from the speed, right?
Causing the square, it becomes difficult terrain.
Okay. So it moved 5 feet. So moving through that square will cost it 10 feet now instead of 5 feet. So it seems to skitter a little bit, slide forward, but it is still going to attack you. And it got a 20.
Well, that hits.
Woo! So it slides forward, grabs onto like the part of your body that is just near contact with the floor, and it's almost like inverted upside down as you feel its little pincers like grab into you and start to worm their way in to really hold on.
It doesn't have to make a save because of the encumbered condition that it has?
That is a good point. Let me go check the old Hero Lab. No. So it doesn't have to make any save in which to hold on to you. But its speed was reduced by 10 feet. So right when it got to you, right there, it was seeming like it was at the end of its movement because it moved so slowly through there. But it was still able to attack you and attach to you.
Boo.
But good call. Good check. Thank you for the boo. That means that I'm doing it right.
I should have moved back further.
You should have just left the room when you had the chance. I mean, that's really what should have happened here. It is Professor Benjam's turn.
You didn't say how many points of damage.
There were no points of damage.
Oh.
You got 0 points of damage right now. So Professor Benjam also takes a step up, takes a step back, but makes the mistake of starting to move out of the threatened area from the asteroid Lice in front of Hears. So it gets an attack of opportunity from the asteroid Lice in front of Hears. Because that's not connected to you, right, Hears? I don't think that one is attached to you.
It is not.
It is not. Oh, man, that's not good. It turns around as soon as Professor Benjamin starts to move. It turns around and is able to grab onto his foot. And now Professor Benjamin has an asteroid louse connected to him. It's the top of round 2. We are at the asteroid lice it's actually this asteroid lice's turn, and it is going to make an attack on Dr. Benjamin. Yeah, that's a hit. It rolled a 25 to hit Dr. Benjamin.
Dang. See what Dr. Benjamin's made of.
And Dr. Benjamin takes 2 points of damage, screams out in pain as this asteroid lice takes a chunk out of his leg. It is now the asteroid lice in front of Rick, who is attached to Rick, is also going to make an attack on Rick's leg. That is a 19.
How are you rolling so high? I don't understand this.
I rolled an 11.
That's a KAC.
Yes, against KAC.
15. So that
is a hit. Okay. So you feel its pincers come in and you take 3 points of piercing damage from the pincers cutting into your leg.
All right. And that's just from stamina, correct?
Yes. Starting with stamina, then hit points, then resolve points. I really hope we don't get down to resolve points in this second encounter. All right. Let's pick it up. Let's keep going. It is Nico's turn. What are you doing?
So Nico's going to pull out his second blaster, and he's just going to look at it like it's disgusting. And he's just going to be, get away from me. And he's just going to take both of them, and he's going to fire.
He's going to fire both?
Yeah, and just so you know, Nico does have a feat where he has multi-weapon fighting.
Right, so I think that feats... So typically, when you fire both, a full round attack, it's a -4 to both. I think it reduces that by 1. So you're -3 to both, right?
Yep. That's
cool.
Correct.
So give me 2 attack rolls against some EAC or KAC?
It's going to be EAC.
Against EAC, -3 each. Let's do this. Give it to me.
I'm actually excited. First time I've done a multi-attack here.
Yeah. This is what it's all about right here.
Isn't that like a -4 to everything?
It's -4 to both, but -3 because he has a multi-weapon feat.
13 on 13 on the first roll.
Is that 13 with the -3 or 13 without the -3?
Natural 20 on the second.
Get out!
Woo!
Get out!
Woo!
Boom down.
Critical.
There we go. There we go. Natural 20.
All right.
So, wait, the first one you rolled a 13.
The 13 with the -3.
Yeah, 13 with the -3. The second one was a natural 20.
Okay, so let's do this. With the -3, you rolled a 13. That's a hit. Give me the damage for the first hit. Boom!
All right, so that's for that. Wow, you got to go back and forth here.
Yeah, but you'll learn the character. You'll get it.
1d4 here.
1d4. Give it to me.
That's a 4. That's
nice.
a 4.
Wow. All right. So, since we have our critical hit, last time we had a critical hit, I just did the thing, which was to double it, right? And each time you add the modifier, I made that mistake last time, and I should have rolled the dice twice and then added the modifier both times. So, my question to you, all that to say, is do you want to use the Paizo official critical hit deck for Starfinder, Nick?
Let's draw a card.
Let's draw a card, he says. All right, let's see. I'm going to pull it out. This freshly used bad boy that we actually have not used in a while. So I'm going to do a quick shuffle-oni. Then I'm going to hold up the cards. You tell me when to stop. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom.
Go.
Okay. Top of the deck here. You're shooting. Ruined my shirt. Attempt a diplomacy or intimidate check against the target as if you had the antagonize feat. That's crazy.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what that means either. I'm not sure what that means either. I'm going to say this. You can draw again, or you can just do ×2.
Well, it doesn't really have a shirt. Let's just draw again. Let's draw it again.
Okay, ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Go. Stop.
Okay. It is bonus effect. You can apply the effects of covering fire or harrying fire to the target. That's pretty cool.
Okay,
in addition to the damage. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty great. So, do you want to read what covering fire or harrying fire does?
Yes, please.
So, covering fire is the selected ally that you choose gets a +2 circumstance bonus AC against the next attack from the creature. Harrying fire is the next ally to attack the foe gets a +2 circumstance bonus to their attack roll. So either the next person to be hit gets +2 AC, or the next person to attack that creature gets +2 to their attack roll. Which do you prefer, Nick?
Can I do covering fire, and can I direct? Can I direct who can get the covering fire?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give her a friend here.
So keep in mind that this. Oh, okay. This is the one right in front of you. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give Rick. Is it Kev?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Rick already has one attached to him. Just so you know, you can see that.
Yeah, but can't my covering fire kind of help him out on the KAC on that?
No, because you're
right. Okay, no.
So you're shooting the one right here. So it would have to be against an attack from that creature.
Oh, okay. Kills. I'll give
Keeve.
Keeve. Yeah,
Keeve?
I'll give Keeve.
Keeve. Okay, so Keeve gets the benefits of that. Now you roll a D4 twice, and add whatever bonuses you have twice.
That's a 4 on the first one.
Nice.
And a 2 on the second.
4 on the first one, 2 on the second. And with that, this creature just explodes into goo all around it. And as it does, you can see the remains start to
don't touch the remains.
as you kill the creature. And that is our game.
That's perfect.
Woo!
Yay!
Nice way to end.
Thanks for listening. You can look for new episodes of Will Save every Wednesday on Will Save Wednesdays. You can subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Google, Pandora, iHeartRadio, Amazon, TuneIn, and other places where podcasts are hosted. You can follow us on social media at our Twitter handle @WillSavePodcast, on Instagram at Will Save the Podcast, on Facebook at facebook.com/Will Save the Podcast, and at our website at willsavethepodcast.com. Special thanks to Sirenscape for our sound and music, to Roll20 for our online interactive platform, to Paizo, Hero Lab, and Lone Wolf Development.